Hi guys, I'll take you through how I do my miters, my dovetailing. This is a blank for a fire steel that I did. Always make them nice to make when you're doing these dovetails, the piece as long as you can. Makes it far easier to work with, and we'll show you why, the way I do it, why that's handy. This is only for a fire steel, and say I think it was 60mm long because it was a nice long fire steel, but obviously there's a, what's that, 120mm long roughly. So we did, yeah, we might have lost some of that, but I always save them. And that's, there's some of it from another one. Make a handy bead, other stuff. All of my handle off cuts I tend to save. There's some more dovetail bits, handy for other projects, or even little wedges sometimes. Right, first of all, this is just a cheap mitre box. Probably not very accurate, but all I want to do is reduce some of the sanding. First of all, I do a 45 on each length of this. This is a foot long. Then measure halfway along it and do another 45. And you end up with two scales with 45s either end. Doesn't matter, I've done this like this just to show that it doesn't matter if they're like that or like that. All we're after is rough 45s at this point. Then we take it into a sander and we'll go to the next stage. Switch workshops. Right, the next stage, setting this at 45 degrees. I always check it whenever I do this. Get your angle gauge, your 45 degree, whatever. Get nice and square. And the main reason I keep these as long as possible, is because that rests up against there far better than half the scale. If you're doing the two halves, you've got a lot less contact area. So I can hold that along the whole length of that, no problem. So you've got a really a lot more stable area. So we'll do a little bit of sanding, not going to do loads of it here. Then we'll bring you back to the next stage. Going to be laminating these pieces in, just a little accent pieces. Got some orange liners for these as well, so that should look quite nice. I'm not sure I'm going to do one or two at the minute. This is for a kitchen knife project. Just a little Lenzo blank that I'm building up. So we'll do a bit of sanding. Got your PPE gear on. It's going to get a little bit loud. I've got the dust extraction as well going. gone with some blue. The other stuff's a little bit thin really to do. So there we go, all nice 45 degrees there. Another little thing I do is nice flat surface just stick together. So you're going. So you get how they're fitting together. Got to stick a yellow liner in this one as well. Blue liner on the bottom. With copper pins, brass pins, it should look quite nice. That's been 45 degrees. Next thing to do is pick where you want the dovetail to go. I'm going to do these basically in the middle. You come towards the front. Depends what look you're going for really. And on the blank this is going in. Probably going to get pins either side of the dovetail, so that should look quite good. So pick where you want them and cut them. I'll tend to just line it up so it makes it a little bit easier. Gluing up. Right, I'll bring you back after I've cut them. Right, I've got all the miters, 45's done now. I've decided where I want them to be, so I've cut the scales in half. Change of mind on the colour, gone for this blue and yellow Kironite, got some blue liners as well. Next thing is to sand them up. When I'm sanding, obviously a nice flat surface, try not to push it that way because it builds the paper up and it can just knock your edge, and that edge, if it starts rounding over, you get a line of resin which you'll be able to see. Might be only small, but always away, even pressure, so you get a really good scuff. You don't want to see any shiny marks. Need to sand the bottom of these because it's going to laminate the. Just need to think about that quickly. Mark a pen or mark top on them. Made that mistake before, so. I normally stick that down. I've got to get some more 3M spray mount. Nice. Random pattern. Find it important to clean your paper as well. So obviously, if you get little lumps of material, it can take things away from flat. There we go. All nice and sanded. Right, a couple of sets of scales to glue up tonight, some thinner ones for a little neck knife. We'll bring you back when I'm ready. It might be a bit difficult, but we'll give it a go. We'll see how this goes, guys. Right. Small barbecue skewers these are, bamboo. Love them for this sort of thing. Dirt there, and that's good on there. Got a few bits of this liner lately with grit in it, impregnated into it. First piece, get it on there, grab yourself a clamp. If you do this and you want the dovetail to be closer to the front of the knife scale, leave it as long as you can, because if you get it with, if you had like that piece or even smaller, and that was your, the area to clamp is really small. All these have been degreased with acetone. I know a few lads don't like it, but Water Sorrels did a video about it. Yeah, I've used it for years. It's a super solvent. I spoke to my local supplier to get my epoxy from, and they don't seem to seem there's a problem with it, but do what you feel is necessary. Right. The wrong gloves on these. This is what I do my fiberglassing with. Ran out of ordinary rubber gloves. Right. I find if you cut your liner and keep a straight edge, that's what happens when you, right, like this one's clamped all the way, that one's just clamped. And what I do, so another reason you want to keep your edges as square as you can, grab your clamp. In fact, I'll move that over there. Lift it off the scale material and just bring them together. Don't go mad. Just nice light, just a real good check. Get them all tight. Can be a bit difficult to see with the epoxy. That seems alright, that one. And I don't seem to have too much problem with the middle one. So I've had them once it pop up. But yeah, that's got that. And you want just a very slight gap. because that can, under the clamp there, if it's touching it, can just lift it up. Yeah, that's looking good. We'll get on with the next one. I'll put the heater on here so it's epoxy is warm. Not the easiest thing to film, really. Looks like a bit of dry spot there. I like to work this stuff in into a bit of a circular pattern, all the little circular marks you put in there. Putting next to nothing on, I think 90% of it, well not 90% but a good percentage of it will squeeze out. I only use cheap clamps for this because they get really loaded with epoxy. They go in the bin. See, we're going to have problems in a minute. I'll pull that one a bit further over that way. Certainly wouldn't like to try this with 5-minute epoxy. I don't think you can go wrong with that West System stuff. Mixed a couple of batches. I've glued some other stuff up there. It's another thing, don't try not to mix too much in a pot. These pots are ideal for the job, but right into everything. And there as well. She runs marathons and currently is in training for the London Marathon, which is in preparation ultimately for a big ultra marathon across the Atacama Desert in Chile in the autumn. Well, it's really exciting for you guys, this bit gluing it up, but she's running for the Maggie Centres. We lost our dear father last September to cancer, and Maggie so the more hi to everybody who's involved with the Maggie's Centres. Accurate you can be with your mitering, the better. A little belt sander, I've used it like that for ages. It's locked 45 degrees, and that's the way that one stays. We've got another one behind you there. Yeah, for a budget machine it served me well. I've had it a couple of years. The one I got behind is from Screwfix, which is basically the same thing. Nice and meantime. Nice square edge on the lining material, so you can know you're lining up. These are cut oversized, so I'm not too bothered about that. So that should have got the another washer. There we go. Lightly, you want that one to move, make sure that one's cream dried up. Look for the other clamp. So you're not going mad with these clamps, you just want to square everything up. You see it move, keep an eye on your glue lines. Make sure nothing's lifted. It's the last thing you want. So it's a lot of work to mess it up, so well, it's quite easy to find. Depends what material you're using. Some of the lighter materials, when you use a white corian, it's easy to find, see the gaps. But the darker materials are a little bit difficult. But yeah, right, I'll clean that one up. There we go. That's that. As always, save your pot of epoxy so you know it's gone off properly. This from the other batch. I'll just mark that one. That's the line. Traceability, if it doesn't go off, as hard as it can be. Yeah. Don't worry, I've done it. If you've got a problem with your epoxy, I'm sure I'm not the only person to say that. Set up there. Move. Quite easy to get all flustered like I'm getting now. Move that the rest there. Yeah. That epoxy, it takes a while to go off, so you've got plenty of time. Adjust this. Position there. And tighten it back up. Right. And there's the other lot. Right guys. I'll try to get these bloody gloves off. Somebody bought medium instead of larges. Yeah, you can see a nice. It felt like an hour, not 12 minutes. But yeah, so not worried about the pieces being long. I find it easy to work with. When you're cutting down to the right width, I find it far too hard. But yeah, always keep them long as long as you can until you need to cut them and mitre them together. Another little tip. I've shown this one yet. It's got a couple of pieces. Obviously, on your flat surface, pencil, as you can draw pencil lines and rub the two pieces together. That's a really good indication, but then again it's reliant on a small surface, so the longer you can keep the pieces on a flat surface, they're easier to work with, you can clamp them better. So if you're trying to have just a really small dovetail at the front, you've got nothing to clamp to there, have you? You're going to start clamping that, and all it's going to do is twist up. So the longer you keep it, the better, I find. Right, we'll bring you back. We're going to shape them up. I'll do a template on the rotor, so we'll show them a new rotor table to make as well. We'll shape them up on the rotor. Might do 2 videos on this so people can watch one and not the other, or vice versa. Alright guys, catch you later. Right, these have been drying. 18 hours I think, give or take. Right. Clamp them, put a few extra clamps on. So last night, I only buy these cheap clamps for gluing up when they get really loaded with epoxy. Let me just chuck them away. Far better things to do this time than clean a £2 clamp. Sure you'd agree. These are penny washers to spread the load a little bit. Right, so we go in. So it's stuck. Just stuck to the rubber there a little bit, but we shouldn't get enough. Possibly. There we go. So I'll always leave it long. It's easier to work with the bigger it is. What we'll do, we'll trim these down a little bit. I'm waiting for a chef's knife blank for those scales to show you. But what I will also do, I do a bolster on a wooden handle. I've got a handle blank. I'll show you how I shape that on the router. Right guys, bring you back in a bit. Little technique that is, because as you sand it, contours the whole surface. stabilises. I'm going to rate the corners of this, so it's just really rough sanding. So we're going to watch all this, bring you back in a minute.
And I haven't read the book, but
right, just going to round the front of these over them, which is going to come with a flat parting, so I want to taper it down towards it. We'll do the one side and we'll swap over.
And the threat bomb on Washington. And then 15 years down the line, America has become east of America has become
Right, got that basic Coke bottle shape there now. Tape it at the front, round at the back. What I'll do is use a router now to knock majority of the material out. Being this is tilted, got to be a little bit more careful. Obviously route like that, then tilt it. We're not going to get all of this, but you're still knocking the vast majority. I'll just show you this one. This one was totally routed, and just basically sanded to get the scratch marks out of it then. Plain handles like that aren't a problem with the router. Whack it round, couple of passes, jobs are good, and we'll set you up. I just want to check a few things first, but yeah, bring you back in a minute. This still frightens me every time I do it, but I think that's healthy. It's a dangerous tool in the wrong hands. You can see, takes no time at all. All we're going to do now is blend these in there. You can raise the rate a bit and gently do these bits, sort of like that. And slowly drop it in. It's just easier. Spit sand it, spit shine and sand it. So we'll do a bit of that, and we'll get a bit close. We'll bring you back.
All the cracks and crackles and all of that kind of stuff is intentional. It's just due to prototype version of the other record into the jukebox. Record number 151, thanks to Kevin Fraser from Ride.